Hey everybody, we're here for the new episode of the RLG cast. I'm here with Putty, I'm here with JD, and I'm here with Caps. Today we got a lot on the table. We're going to talk about Flash. We're going to talk about DC and the debacle that's happening. So let's get debacling. The debacle debate.
Debacle debate.
I'm a master debater, so we're going to get right into this.
I
knew you were.
You're sick. Anyways, so I guess we'll open on the Flash. We're not reviewing this movie. It's already reviewed.
It's already reviewed.
Check it. It's on the channel. I will not link to it. You have the fingers and abilities, hopefully. And if you don't, I'll
and if you do, make sure you click that subscribe button if you don't already.
Can I say I did one too?
Yeah. Putty did one too. It's probably not as good because I wasn't there, but Caps, tell us what you thought about the Flash since you were in here. I did tell everyone your score though.
You guys want me to tell you my score?
No, I already told everyone your score.
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought it was a decent movie. I thought the storyline was interesting. I thought the CGI worked at times, and I thought it looked cheap at times. I thought it was really cool to see Michael Keaton as Batman again. The other
there's going to be spoilers for anybody. Skip ahead.
Yeah.
13 minutes.
Yeah, we could talk spoilers.
Yeah, go ahead. No. We're good. I should have said it. You didn't say any spoilers. Michael Keaton's in the commercial.
I thought it was cool. I thought.
How about those babies?
Some of the other things that happened in the movie were pretty cool. But I thought it was a decent movie.
I wish we still had the legendary Norm Macdonald to talk about the Flash with us. Be like, how about those babies? They were falling.
They're falling, and a dog there too.
That is arguably one of the worst scenes ever in the history of any movie that ever existed.
Yep, I agree.
Pretty bad.
The Flash was pretty decent. I genuinely don't understand the hate for it. If you don't like Ezra Miller, and if you don't like that Snyder's out, and if you don't like the direction they're going in, and if you don't like James Gunn, okay, but tell us that's why you don't like this movie. Don't just pretend that this movie is trash, Not you, Caps.
I didn't say it was.
I know, but a lot of people are
they're giving
really
it
going
zeros.
hard on it, and their reasoning is not logical. Like, I watched the same movie as you. There's no way this movie's like a 1, 2, 3, or 4 out of 10.
No, absolutely not. Anybody that says that is totally wrong. I thought it was a decent.
You
movie.
heard it here first, folks. You're wrong if you think
you're wrong.
They're wrong. I mean, I don't. The reason, is it because like they hate Ezra Miller, and that's the reason why they.
I think that's part of it. I think it's also part that the Snyder cult are a little bit hurt that he's gone from the.
But this movie's very Snyder-ish, and it's a lot brighter than a Snyder movie, but it looks and feels like a Snyder movie.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I said this, and the whole situation was that it felt slow in the beginning. Like it didn't feel like it picked up until it got to Keaton.
It takes an hour. It takes exactly an hour.
And Keaton really is what brings this movie. But again, I think that's what made me love it and give it a high score, because the Keaton scenes were legendary. They were fun. They were entertaining. That's what it really picked up. Prior to that, I just wasn't, and I will admit, I was one of those people that looked at Ezra Miller and go, oh, it's itchy, but you can't really disband the movie for being bad. Like I even said, I hate the stain that he's put on this movie because I feel like it would get a higher score for me, but it's still at the same time, his acting is amazing in it. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to sit there and stagnate what was actually there as a contributing factor. Yeah. But as far as plot wise, the beginning, yes, it's very slow. There's this, it feels like they're trying to like fill in parts when you can have a lot more substance and fun with the Keaton moments, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about it.
I mean, I think that's pretty fair. I think
really this movie explained multiverse better than like the last 5 Marvel movies.
Well, the Marvel is still like 5 movies into trying to explain the multiverse and still has yet to convince me that they've done it yet.
Well, see, here's the thing.
I know what it means.
Well, it made sense with this Flash. This, I mean, it was a
and it
perfect
was
moment
so
for all this happened.
easily. It was told to us in a matter of like 20 minutes. The entire explanation of how it works. And we were like, okay.
All
that
with a
was
plate
one
of
moment-
spaghetti.
That was one moment I did like was, and I've got to say this. Where's Val Kilmer? I'm a little bit mad about this. Anyway, I'm joking.
Val
Anyway.
Kilmer's basically dead. No
I
offense.
know,
Yeah,
I'm
Val
kidding.
Kilmer.
That's a
Val
bad
Kilmer.
joke.
Trust me, if he would have been able to do it, they
It would have been him.
Yeah, 100%. But that's my point.
instead of
I do,
thing at the end.
yeah.
Yeah.
Are we going
Yeah, I
forward? Can
guess
we
so.
talk? Okay. So we're spoilers, guys. I'm going to say the ending now. I actually was really shocked to see George Clooney. It was a ironic little thing there, but then at the same time, it was like it fell hard on it as well. Like it was a joke to itself. And I feel like you're right. Val Kilmer would have been better. But honestly, you could have. I think Christian Bale would have been way better choice.
Okay, so we'll talk about that in a second. We'll get there in a second. But yeah, I don't mind George Clooney being there. It's just another little Easter egg thing.
Cool. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, like a little nostalgia, like kick kind of thing. I liked it.
Member berries.
Exactly.
Basically.
Well, the whole movie is.
They're trying to salvage the George Clooney Batman.
I don't know, but
character?
okay, we're leaving the realm of the Flash, I think, and if we have to come back here, we will. But in typical superhero movie fashion, but mostly like DC seems to have this issue where people just like to speak out. Every time a DC movie comes out and fails, everybody talks about what was gonna happen, what we were gonna do. These were the plans. No, because you're just thinking of, you're hearing what people are saying, and then you're like, oh, this is what we should have done.
Yeah.
But, okay, so
Broken telephone.
I'm not saying that all of these are that situation, but it's just that seems to surround DC so deeply, it kind of pisses me off, especially with the whole Zack Snyder thing. It was like 2 years later, you told us what all the fans were saying. Like, obviously, you've been hearing it for 2 years. You know what to give them. But
Are you talking about the Batman Beyond thing?
no, we'll touch on that, but we'll keep going. They were saying that once they decided they were going to do that final scene, they spent 3 months begging Christian Bale to be in the movie, and he kept saying no. And Kevin Smith is the one that reported this, that he heard from whoever, Andy Muschietti or whoever it was.
You just see Christian Bale. No.
Yeah, but he's like, I don't want to do it. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
no,
want
you can't blame him.
He's a really, really massive actor, bigger than anyone in the entire DCU.
Yeah,
why would he show up for a cameo?
It's also, to me, with the Christian Bale thing, those 3 Batman movies are their self-contained own thing, right?
Yeah,
by adding Michael Keaton, it would make sense with Val Kilmer or George Clooney, because they're still technically part of that. You know what I mean?
It feels like it's in a universe in a multiverse
you
that's
could
spread
have
out. You know what I mean?
You
Like,
could
it's
have
weird.
did Christian Bale because it's multiverse, right? So you could have just been like, well, we went into his universe now.
Well, think about it. You got to think when they were actually showing the multiverse, we had the original Batman. We had all the old stuff, even the Superman stuff, the original Christopher Reeves, Nicolas Cage. That was amazing. That
yeah,
was
I just wish it wasn't all super heavy duty version CGI where it looks like a cartoon and doesn't look like. I would have liked to have seen the animated series pop up in one of those worlds.
I think that would be a good idea.
I would have liked. This is what I really wanted. Okay, I would have liked, and I said this to JD in our review, that at some point walking through the Bruce Wayne's mansion, there's a picture of him like shaking hands with Marlon Wayans, and because like, you know how he was supposed to play Robin. And then he could have had a Robin suit in his cave too, and been like, you know, and that, don't even mention it. Just show the picture, show the Robin suit, and move on. You know, and that would have been like, you're already going this deep. You might as well give us. You showed the Nicolas Cage thing that never happened. Why wouldn't you show us Marlon Wayne's Robin, right?
Well, I will say
Two-Face,
especially the fact that like the Batman '89 comic series was so well received.
Yeah,
that they could have like taken a few things out of there. Like even you said was we could have seen a little bit of Selena Kyle, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, and you could have actually had her there, right? You could have had
even Vicky Vale.
Yeah, you could have had her. I mean, you could have had easily shown like little tidbits of things.
Bob
just
the Goon.
throughout. You could have shown what's his name, the Lando Calrissian. What the hell's his name?
Yeah, Harvey Dent.
Oh yeah, and he could be
What's his actual name?
Too.
Billy D. Williams.
Billy D. Williams.
Billy D. Williams.
But I to compliment it again, like for example, the scene with Michael Keaton when actually he's like when he's playing Bruce Wayne. Like first off, I watched the movies prior, so when I saw them go into the armor room and everything, as soon as I saw that, I go, oh, that's exact armor room from the first Batman
But
movie.
it's slightly different.
Yeah, well, yeah,
The
but
armor
you can
room,
still-
the original armor room did not have windows.
well, yeah, you're right.
But they did give him the suit that he has in this movie was the planned suit for the third Batman movie, which is Batman
Oh.
Again, I believe it was called.
Yeah.
But
It
I mean,
is.
I liked the gray hair in the kitchen, like that scene. I mean, like that was another thing. So I want to ask you guys: was it bizarre, or did you actually like the whole noodle explanation of the multiverse?
It made it a lot easier to understand.
Yeah, I mean,
this is the thing. The use of something so simple to explain something to me stupid worked well, where I find and this is something I didn't realize now that I've watched them like multiple times. In the Marvel movies, they spend too much time trying to science you to make it feel realistic when all they have to do is be like, you dumb thing cross multiple, and you're like, oh.
It's really funny that scene really did explain
Right,
things.
because it's like we talked about this too in Across the Spider-Verse. They spend X amount of time telling you about the multiverse, but everyone's like, oh, wow, in one movie, you explained the whole multiverse better than any other movie. No, because there's a first Spider-Verse movie where they explain it even more in that.
Yeah.
So it's like you've already been conditioned and prepared for the second one. Well, but they did a good job still. When you look at how Spider-Verse and how DC have explained multiverse and then watch how Marvel is doing it, it's crazy.
That's why Kevin Feige, I feel like Kevin Feige is like stepping back and going, okay, we need to slow stuff down and get back on track, which is a little bit weird why they're releasing, a certain movie so soon. So, yeah, but anyway, we'll get to that.
Well, we're staying on DC. This whole episode, we'll you know what? I just decided this. We're going to stay DC oriented, and Caps knows about DC enough to be here for this. So it's odd to me, like the Flash doing as poor as it did on the opening weekend. Like I'm sure by the end of its entire run, it's probably going to make its money back. But it's just, is it just like I don't care about DC anymore? Because if you look at the last three movies, Black Adam didn't do well at the box office. Shazam did not do well at the box office. Batman did excellent, but that's Batman. Batman is going to sell no matter what.
Batman will always sell.
What do you think? What is going to happen for Blue Beetle? Do you think people are going to buy into the James Gunn-ness of it and be like, well, this is part of the James Gunn universe now? Or is this continued downfall of DC going to burden Blue Beetle as well?
I don't think, see, the thing is, as much as like yourself or myself, we know about Blue Beetle, I don't think there's enough people out there who know Blue Beetle.
But Marvel pulls people in with their random characters nobody knows.
And Blue Beetle does have...
Yeah, but they don't get their own movie.
But Blue Beetle also has a younger audience, like pull,
from
right?
the cartoons and all that.
They have Becky G. They have all those young people because he's a teenager, right? So who knows, right? And it's a different audience. It's very like Latino heavy because he's a Latino character, and I think that might draw too, right? Because there's not a lot of representation for that on the screen. I'm not saying it's going to be a success because of that by any means, but I think it has different things going for it than the odd situation where Flash's mom is rooted in this event where all they keep talking about is Italian things, but then she's not even Italian, and it's just confusing the crap out of me. Like the whole movie is based around cooking pasta and tomato sauce. So anyways, but it's I don't know. I'm a little I think I'm a little at odds with that. And then Aquaman apparently went back for reshoots and got delayed because the pre-screenings for it or the test screenings for it were saying it's the worst DC movie ever made.
Well, but why add that? It wasn't even a good scene. It's like it felt wasted. That was the worst thing ever. Like the worst end screen cap I've ever seen. Like how no one laughed in the theater. No, the people that did stick.
Which one, the Aquaman scene?
Yeah, like it's so stupid. If they actually went back to shoot that,
because they wanted to build the reason they want to keep Jason Momoa. This is actually factual. they wanted to keep Jason Momoa and Ezra Miller in the universe together is because they want to build a bromance around them where they're like the ha funny guys together because of my man.
Well, no, I get that, but I mean, we've already been. I mean, again, that's another thing we didn't get. We didn't get a reset. Like I thought we were going to get a new Flash because of this.
Well, we kind of got a soft
path.
reset, not a hard reset.
Well, they don't want. They want to stay with Ezra.
But
maybe he has pull, right? Maybe someone he's related to works there. What do you mean it doesn't matter? It completely matters. It's how Hollywood functions, Putty. Most of the young actors and actresses that you like are there only because they're related to someone who's
nepotism at its finest.
But earlier on in the production, didn't they sort of threaten to like stop production altogether because they want to replace Ezra Miller? Just out of curiosity.
But they didn't, and they're not going to apparently. I talked to people that were on the red carpet there doing like press for their blogs or whatever, and Ezra Miller was not allowed to talk to anyone except for 3 specific people that they allowed him to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He's on like lock and key because like he's on full 24-hour surveillance to make sure he doesn't screw up. If he wants to keep matter. He's making money,
pulled a crime. He should not get any kind of
Putty. I know. Yeah. Bill Cosby committed a lot of crimes too, and until he turned like 97, no one did anything about it.
Also, what's his name from
Armie Hammer's making a comeback.
Yeah,
he was eating people. Like, you know what I mean? Johnny Depp is back. Amber Heard is back. They both literally beat the crap out of each other. Like it is what it is. Hollywood is just a really messed up place. It's the kind of place where Kevin Spacey gets charged 5 times with something and all 5 people who charge him die suspiciously. But he's still around. So that's
but that hey, at least it still goes back to DC when you think of that way with Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, it was Lex
Don't bring him back as Lex Luthor.
Bring back Cal Penn. That's what we need, okay? But yeah, you know what? I wouldn't care. I wouldn't mind Brandon Routh coming back.
That's who would I have. That's who I would have liked to see in one of the multiverse scenes.
What if that was the ending scene instead of being George Clooney? Flash goes outside, and the Superman in that universe is Brandon Routh, like an older Superman. Like how they did him in the crossover event.
Or one of the journalists. Brandon Routh could have been Clark Kent as one of the journalists.
Yeah, there you go. You're just these are things that tingle my berries.
Yeah.
Just because at the end of the day, George Clooney is a bigger draw. I don't know.
Yeah, he's a bigger name for sure.
They kept that scene so tight-lipped because
he talked so much crap for the entirety of the movie, and then ended up being in the movie. Like, while they were making that, George Clooney, they kept asking him if he was going to be in. He's like, no, I would never go back. I hate it. I hate all my time there. I hated everything about it. And then he ends up in the movie.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you sure that wasn't employed just to keep his cover? He just
that's what I mean. It was, but like he did a good job of it, right? Like he really like
but and even in the test screening or the advanced screenings that a lot of people like media people that got to watch, George Clooney was not in the film. They didn't
show the end. The movie cut before the credits rolled. Oh, for the test screening.
They just they cut it right when he steps out of the car and you see the shoes, and that's it.
Oh, I bet you they were pissed too when they were in the screen. Like, who was it? Who was it? You know what I mean?
No, they didn't even show anything. There's no credits. When the movie ended, they didn't even show credits. It just stopped and the lights came on.
Yeah.
So you didn't see any of the credits. You didn't see anything at the end.
That's what I'm saying.
People that I know that had screenings were telling me that. But this looks funny. Everyone came out of those screenings that I saw, and I told you guys they were so positive. These movies this was so good, so good. And then when they did their actual reviews, when the embargo lifted, they all gave it 7s. I'm like, you guys were just telling me how good this movie was, and now you're all giving it 7s.
Yeah,
I mean, I gave it a 7 too. But
I gave it a 7 too. Yeah.
JD was a little bit above a 7. Caps was a 6.
Yeah,
I said I even said I would put it in 8, but I feel like the Ezra Miller thing was the only thing that brought to.
I'm not gonna. It's not. I have no personal bias going into a movie and reviewing it. It's just how good is this movie made, and I think if you
and the story it tells.
The opening sequence is gonna put a bad taste in anyone's mouth. It's awful. As good as Ben Affleck is and as Batman in those moments, that opening sequence is terrible.
And the
it just
blue and gray suit.
drags.
I love the blue and gray suit.
Yeah. It
Yeah, it was an
drags
awesome
into
suit.
the storyline. So that first like 20 minutes, just it has a terrible opening sequence and then just drags into the actual storyline, which is
When it picks up really
But
well.
after
Once,
that,
once
the rest
Michael
of the movie
Keaton
was
is introduced, yeah.
no, I would say at the 22, 23 minute mark, the movie starts to really get good.
Yeah.
Like I was very interested in what was happening. You had me. But that opening sequence left a bad taste in so many people's mouths, and it was so unnecessary. We talked about this at length in the review. You could have just not did that. Why wouldn't you just have, okay, Batman is chasing those guys through the city. Why wouldn't the situation be, oh,
Flash helps him.
Flash, or there's people crossing the street as they're all coming in, but Flash is out of energy to save all the people crossing the street in this 10 million population city that they showed us a sign. See foreshadowing. Oh, there's a hot dog vendor on the corner. Let me eat all the hot dogs. Ha ha, funny. Now I'll save the people at the crosswalk. Why did you have to CGI a bunch of falling fucking babies? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
Like,
It
the
would have
only
made more
good-
sense if the three of them worked together.
The only time that scene actually worked for me was at the end credits when they actually had the dog falling. I was like, that's the only time it actually was funny to me or even enjoyable. You know what I mean?
But the Batman
So-
parts were good. I think
Yeah.
I liked hearing Jeremy Irons. So
Mhm.
As the more hands-on Alfred too.
Caps, what did you think about Sasha Calle as Supergirl? Because I really liked her.
I did too.
I thought she was great. I thought was she originally supposed to be a part of that? Oh no, they were supposed to get what's his name? I forgot. Henry Cavill, no?
No,
He was supposed to make a cameo, but no.
they wanted him to. He might have been one of the people that made a cameo for something, right? But what was happening was the universe was changing into the reset universe. This is before James Gunn, right? So they were resetting the universe without going the James Gunn route. So what would happen is after Flash would be the Batgirl storyline, and Sasha Calle was also supposed to be in Batgirl along with Michael Keaton as Batman. So because that's in his universe. And then there was going to be a whole new set of stories told in this secondary universe where everything was happening as is, right? And the Flash crosses over, and I guess that's how everything was supposed to go where it was going. And Blue Beetle was going to be part of that. But what they did is, I'm pretty sure they removed anything to do with the DCU out of Blue Beetle so that it could be its own thing and move into the James Gunn universe.
Yeah.
I can see that, especially if they can do reshoots or anything with anything Gunn might want
Right.
to enjoy if they want to.
I mean, I'm excited to see what James Gunn is going to do. He has yet to make a bad movie, period, in his career, I would say. Unless you really don't like Slither.
I just want to see
Slither.
I just want to see. I'm just hoping that he he understands the using creative as far as building the universe. I hope he's taken what he saw at Marvel in the start and is bringing over.
Well, I think if anything, Guardians 3 was the biggest sign of this because it showed us that he was able to continue the strength of that story, but keep it in the Marvel universe. And also at the same time, it's been the best movie that they've released in how long?
In the last
since No Way Home.
Yeah.
Yep.
But if you don't count No Way Home as a Marvel movie, it's the best movie since like Phase 4.
Endgame?
Since Endgame. Since Endgame.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So I mean, I got faith in the guy. He knows comic books. He reads comic books, and not like how Zack Snyder reads comic books. Where he like types it into AI. What does Batman do? He shoots people with a gun. No, I don't really care if Batman kills people. It makes no difference. So let's talk about what you were saying
about the Batman Beyond situation.
Beyond. So now,
I've been saying this for the last 2 years since they announced.
We wanted this.
Yeah,
we had ideas for this. I don't know who broke the news. I think it was Heroic Hollywood, but like they're such a baloney organization. I'm calling you out right here, guys. I hope you hear this. You're such a baloney organization. It's all favoritism and whatever they want.
It's very Zack Snyder pro.
If there was supposed to be a Batman Beyond movie and it was planned, like it was set in stone planned, why wouldn't James Gunn have announced it in the list of movies that are coming out?
Yeah.
Like, if he didn't put it in the slate of movies, I don't understand why you would be releasing articles saying, "Oh, Batman Beyond movie canceled because of poor Flash box office." Because of Flash's poor box office.
And you know what's funny too? Now that I think about it, after just bringing this up right now and everything, the Michael Keaton, the way he was with Ezra Miller's character, and the Flash, he would have been perfect for Bruce Wayne in Batman Beyond. You know what I mean?
The way he acted, he was exactly that grumpy old Batman.
Yes, and he would have been perfect getting angry, like you know, I could see him get like pulling that off and everything, or going a little bit, you know, like you're getting a little crazy using that whole.
See, that's what I would like to see too. If he had Ace the Bat Dog with him.
No. By the way, I just saw this right now. Just popped up. Willow has been completely removed from Disney Plus, the show and the
I haven't
movie.
watched it yet.
Well, you're never gonna watch it now.
Wow,
it was that. Trust me, it was that bad.
But that's how much they hated the project. They're gonna bury it now.
So I should be happy I haven't seen it because I feel like I just missed something out in my life.
Allegedly,
even though it's horrible.
It's pretty bad.
Caps, you have anything?
Good.
All right, so the Flash sequel would have explored Reverse Flash being the killer of Barry's mom. And this is Andy Muschietti that leaked this.
Which would have made more sense.
But there for a moment but then when I saw it the second time, I was like, no, I thought the creature that was in the Flash, that, you know, that one that ends up being the Flash,
Dark Flash.
Dark Flash. I thought that was going to be Reverse Flash at first. It wasn't until I saw.
But then again, Reverse Flash is Eobard Thawne, isn't it? It's a guy from the future.
Yeah.
Not from an alternate.
No, but that's what I'm saying. They're using time travel, so I figured maybe he was going to come in and do the whole freaking Spider-Man 2099 thing. You know, I mean, like, don't do this. You know, but he's like, I can't change it. But anyway, my point to the whole thing is like I was hoping for that, and it was okay. I like what they did, but you know, there for a moment.
Sasha Calle has spoken with DC, and apparently they're planning on keeping her in the universe.
Okay.
So I'm pretty happy about that. I mean, I think most people are. That seems like the right.
But she's not Supergirl in.
Well, let's call it what it is. I don't think she's Supergirl Prime.
Okay.
I think we'll call the main universe Prime. I think that she's Supergirl 606 or whatever. I don't know. I can't remember what DC calls their universes.
Earth 2, maybe.
I know she did a fantastic job. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I'd be more than happy to have her come back.
Like those moments, like for example, when they brought her into the sun and then she slid across the ice and was just standing there. I'm like, oh, this is a dope Supergirl. This is like she knows this part. And even the way her demeanor through the whole thing with Barry and all that kind of stuff was just, again, I really believed her to be a fantastic Supergirl. Like she pulled it off, and I want to keep it. I hope they keep her. So,
bless you.
Thank you. I would definitely want her back. Yeah, she did a great job.
Yeah, like I said, I would love that actually. It was a different take on it, and I liked it.
Yeah, like I even said in the review too, it had that elements of Red Sun to it too, which I really, really liked. Like they gave me a taste of it, but they didn't give me the full Red Sun storyline, so I kind of like that.
James Mangold has said that Swamp Thing is going to be a really dark and like gothic horror story.
That's what I want.
Exactly which to me that sounds like exactly what it should be.
Go watch Swamp Thing, the HBO series. So underrated.
Yeah. Also, if you watch Werewolf by Night and see how they handled Swamp Thing,
Man Thing.
Sorry. I think that was a good way to go too, right? Because it was horror based.
Well, again, when I saw Man Thing, I was like, "Oh, this is how Swamp Thing should be." Like, they did Man Thing right, and I hope they learn from what they did with Man Thing and say, you know, that visually really works.
I like the comedy element that they added to Man Thing, but you can't do that with Swamp Thing.
No, he has to be more.
I'm just talking about visually.
Swamp Thing is like very stoic and like he knows exactly what he's doing. Like I only have one goal.
But that's the thing. The way they lighted Man Thing in the series, that lighting needs to be used on Swamp Thing because it gives that whole thing of like I'm scary, but it also gives it more of a sensitive side. So like because that's what you want for Swamp Thing as well. You know what I mean? You don't want him to be
not like
dark.
The greens need to really pop.
Exactly. And you need to put the dark lines, like the very shadowy, you know what I mean, demeanor of like, it's if they do it right, it's gonna be amazing. I can't wait.
All right, potentially last thing. Warner Discovery announced 7 new DC animated series coming this year and beyond.
Holy crap.
So we're getting Beast Boy, Lone Wolf, Batman the Caped Crusader, which I think everyone's excited for that. That sounds great. Creature Commandos, we already know about this.
Yeah.
The Bat
Which is
Family.
smart for that one.
Yeah.
Creature Commandos is smart, so it gives everybody a little bit of an idea of what to expect for the future for them.
Bat Family, which seems like a kind of Rick and Morty-ish take on Batman. Kite Man, hell yeah.
Oh, he's getting his own series? Heck yeah.
The spin-off from that. My Adventures with Superman, which it looks anime kind of, so I don't know what that's going to be.
The name sounds like something like more of like a preschool name. I hate to put it that way, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And Harley Quinn is renewed for season 4.
Yes,
I still haven't watched season 3.
I loved it. I'm still happy the way they're going with it.
I started watching it, and like I actually really like season 1 and 2, but the first 3 episodes of season 3 were kind of boring, and
I get it. Yeah, it's because they're still going on that story, but I feel like they brought the branches out, and I think we're going into some fun territory with her.
We'll see when we get her.
Yeah,
when we get her. Specifically, on DC, I don't have anything else. I don't really have anything else except they canceled Star Trek Prodigy.
Yeah, I was upset about that.
Which a lot of people seem to be upset about, but I've never watched it. I mean, it's the opposite of Star Wars, so it counts.
It's CBS. It's CBS. So that works still anyway.
It's like Star Wars and Marvel, DC and Star Trek. So it works out.
But they are gonna air season 2, but at a later time now.
Yeah, and I think, from my perspective, the cost to animate. Oh my god, the cost to animate. That was a heavy duty yawn. If anyone wants to know, I definitely didn't fart. The cost to animate it was more, I think, than Lower Decks, and it was also a lot less popular than Lower Decks. And with the whole writer's strike going on, the amount of time they were going to have to wait to potentially start making a new season just didn't seem like, I guess it seemed like a waste of time for them. Just cancel it. They're
Lower Decks is really good too.
Yeah, and they're bringing on a bunch of new shows, plus they're making that movie. So it's like, is it Michelle Yeoh in that movie or Ming-Na Wen? Who's the main
It's Michelle Yeoh's character, isn't it, from Discovery?
Yeah. I can't remember which one of them was in Star Trek and which one was in Star Wars, okay?
Ming-Na Wen was Star Wars.
It was Star Wars.
Yes.
I also never watched that series. Maybe
and Michelle Yeoh was in...
Maybe Ming-Na Wen was in both,
Shang-Chi.
because she should be. She should be in all of them.
She was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
You know what? We'll never talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because that show was terrible.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Ghost Rider stuff.
Robbie Reyes, yes.
There was some elements I liked in the beginning, but it started really.
Yeah, I know what you like. Freaking Haley Bennett.
But what's her name when she got her powers? Is weighing up.
Earthquake.
Yeah,
or whatever her name was, Quake. Yeah,
Quake.
I knew that's what you liked about the show, Putty. It was pretty easy.
Well, I mean, hey, he's also in another series that's we'll go into another podcast about that one. So
I don't know what you're talking about, but thank you for watching, and that's the end of this podcast. Look for their stuff in the bio and check out Caps anywhere tomato sauce is sold.